Alright, welcome back guys. So in the last video I think I said, or where we left off was we fixed some issues with the sidebar, and we got the functionality to work as well. So now, as you can see, it pops in and out. So, and in the last video I also said that we'll probably work on the drop downs for these buttons here, but I think we'll just skip these for now, and then we'll do this chip component right here. And you can scroll and then you can click on something, and it'll basically search for that. And then we'll also do the UI for the thumbnails here as well, and I think that's what we'll do for today's video. So I think if we go back here, so I think I'll start off with the chips component. So if we go into components and we create a new file, we're going to call this, we'll just call it chips for now, chips.vue. I'm just going to close this and then just put in view. And what I'm going to do is, so if we go to Beautify, and if we look up a thing called chip groups, so we want them in a group, and we'll be able to scroll them like this here. So if we go back, or if we go to examples, let's see this one here. So it's basically just a row and a column with a chip group and then chips inside of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, and I'm just going to give this a div, and I'm going to give it a class of empty-6, so that it's not touching the top of over here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a divider. So the dividers are basically these things right here, these lines that are on top and bottom of the chips component. So we're just going to add that. So we're going to v-divider. I'm also going to give that a class of mx-5. So the reason we're given a class of mx-5 is so because if we didn't, the lines would go across, and we want this gap here, so that's why we're doing that. And then we're going to put in a v-chip group. I'm going to add a multiple attribute here, and then inside of here we're going to just put in a v-chip, and then give this a class of ma-2, just add some margin, and then we can just put in YouTube or something like that for now, and then we can save it. I'm going to copy this, just going to paste it down a couple of times. So once we have it a couple of times here, let's add the divider, so this one here. Just copy that, paste it down here, so we have our two dividers. And then I'm just going to close these because we don't need them. So we want to show this in the home, because if we go back, it's literally only in the home page that it shows. Like, it doesn't show it anywhere else, as far as I know. So, and if we go back, let's see, if we go back to the home page, so if we go home, we're going to import it right here. So we're going to do import chips from /components/chip.vue. Then in components we're going to use it here, and then we're just going to do chips, just like that. So if we go back here, as you can see, we have them over here now, and they look pretty familiar, or similar, I mean. I'm just going to add in a couple of more so that we can see them scrolling. Okay, let's go back, and there we are. So now they're scrolling, and as you can see, they're cut off, and that's the normal behavior as well, so they're cut off there as well. So yeah, and yeah, it looks pretty good. The only thing is it's not up against here, so I'm just I think it's fine, but we can probably fix that afterwards, really. So let's see, the V divider is fine. Let's just see what responsive. That's fine. I think that's where the arrow goes. That's why you don't want to actually get rid of it. But yeah, there's our chips component for now. And you can scroll and you can click on these. Let's see, what else can we do? What else can we do? Oh yeah, so the other, we're also going to add in the router so you can actually switch pages. So I think, yeah, we already kind of have it, but we don't actually have any pages made yet, so, or views even. So let's make a, which one? So we need home, trending, and subscriptions. So let's make a new one here. Actually no, let's, instead of making another page, let's first of all finish up the home page. So let's do the thumbnails like I said. So there's the chips component. Now if we make a new one here, we're going to call this the thumbnail. So thumbnail.view. Okay, and this one is basically just going to be a card, pretty much, I think. Now what I'm going to do is, I have some data, or some mock data basically created, to sort of represent, or to basically use, you know, show them as videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy them over here because it's quite long. So in the script, we just want to add a data attribute for a field, I mean, just like that, right? And I'm just going to copy this videos array right here. So basically it just contains, this basically represents video. We've got an image, we've got a title, views, a date, user, and whatnot, just your typical array. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add in our container here. So we're going to do v-container, and then we're going to do a v-row with a class of mx5, and we're going to do no dash gutters. I think that just kind of dances it a little bit. And then in here we're going to add a v-column. We're going to add a class of padding 1. We want columns to be 3 because we want to show 4 videos at a time. And then we're going to do our loop. So we're going to do v-4, and we're going to do video in our video index, because we want to use the index for the keys in the videos. And I'm going to bind the key to the index, and inside the column we're going to have the actual thumbnail. So it's basically just going to be a card, and then we're going to give the card a max width of 350, and that way it'll be responsive. So, and then we don't want any color, so we're going to do transparent. We're also going to give it an outline, and then inside we're going to have a v image, and then we're going to give this a class of white dash dash text, and then a line end, and we're going to v bind. So v colon bind, we're going to bind the src to the video image, just like that. So now we have our image. Then inside the card we also want the text, so we're going to have v dash card dash text. We're going to give it a class of text dash dash primary. In here we're going to have a div, and we're going to give a class of font dash weight dash bold, so just adds or makes the font bold. And then in here we're going to just add double mustache, and we're going to do the title. Okay, and then we'll have another div, and then we're going to have a class of text dash dash secondary, and then here we're going to have the we're going to use the video.user. I'm just going to copy this and paste it again. and then we're going to change this to views, and we're just going to put a M, M right here, and then we're just going to add this, so we're going to M views, this dot here, that's what, and then we're just going to do 7 months ago. We're just hard coding it right now. For future, I'm going to try adding some API functionality from the YouTube API, but for now we're just going to hard code in these values and stuff, but for now it doesn't really matter. So once this is done, we can go back to our home, and then we're gonna import our thumbnail component from thumbnail, and we're also gonna use it right here, and then we're just gonna do /thumbnail. So if we go back, and there we are. So now we have our thumbnails right here, and yeah, looking pretty good so far, pretty similar. There's just a little bit more of a gap here, but we can fix that. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, so we've got the text, we've got the user, and then the views looking pretty similar. And we already have, okay, yeah, router's working pretty good as well. So let's just add in the trending and the subscription page, and then in the next video I will probably have these buttons working. We'll probably work on these buttons then, and then I'm not sure what else we will work on, but we'll see. And let's see, so we'll just make the pages for now as well. So if we go here, views, new file, let's call this the trending.view, and then view, just gonna add a div, and we'll just call this trending page. Just gonna give this a class of display-3. Just gonna copy that, create a new file, call this subscriptions.view. Again, view, paste that there, just change this to the subscriptions page. Close this, and that, and let's go into our router, add in these routes, just copy this. So for our router, I'm gonna call this one /trending, this one subscriptions, right here and here and here. We're just gonna get rid of this and call this I can spell trending, and here this and this, we'll call this the subscriptions. Now I'm gonna save. So now if we go back, we should have our trending page and our subscription page working as well. Perfect. Yeah, that's good. That's not too bad. I might add in the skeleton text, or the skeleton kind of thing as well. So what I'll show you what I mean by skeleton. So skeleton loaders. So something like this, because that's what YouTube uses on a slow internet. If the content isn't loaded, then you have like the skeleton of that layout, or of the thumbnail, for example. Just looks nicer. So we might add that in next time as well. But yeah, that's about it. Looking pretty good so far. A lot more work to be done, but looking pretty identical for now. And if you guys enjoyed it, please do leave a like. It means a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.